Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, cricket fans. Welcome to another episode of Aadukalam Dugout Diaries. Buckle up because today we are diving deep into another incredible journey from our team. He has been a rock in our lineup for years. This guy is a pure batsman through and through, dependable as they come. The kind of player you build your innings around when the pressure is on. He doesn't just score runs. He anchors, he accelerates, he delivers when it matters the most. And let's talk fielding. He is an absolute beast. Lightning quick, safe hands, always in the right place to turn a game with a stunning catch or a rocket throw. You name it, he got it in the field. But what I love the most, this dude has zero filters. Straight shooter, tells it like it is. No sugarcoating, no BS, just raw, honest opinions that cut right through the chase. Love him or hate him, you always know where he stands. Rohit, brother, it's an honor to me to have you on the show. Welcome to the show, by the way.
Thanks for having me. That was a little too generous, but appreciate it.
No,
Glad to be here. A little nervous, but excited at the same time. So
good.
Let's see how this goes.
Yeah, just a casual chat, letting our Aadukalam fans and family know a little bit about yourself and your journey. That's the intent of this session.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Hopefully it goes well. I don't screw anything up, but let's hope for the best.
Good. Well, I think, to begin with, I wanted to know a little bit about yourself. Where did you grow up? Where did you do your schooling and your education? And how did you end up in Michigan?
So that's a good question. I've been back and forth. So I was actually born in India. But then my dad had a traveling job. So we kept going back and forth. So I think when I was 2 months old, we moved to the US, and I was in the US till I was about 4 years old. And then we moved back to India, and I lived in Bangalore.
Okay.
And so Bangalore is where I would say my love for cricket started because, my dad was always traveling. I think I grew up with the passion of sports.
Okay.
So my dad was traveling, so it was just literally just me, my mom, and my brother. And so, it can get boring, but luckily I had a good, our neighborhood there were a lot of kids, and that's where we started playing cricket in the streets, and that's where my love for cricket started.
So before you get into cricket, right?
Yeah.
Because you told that something that is interesting because you had a dad who has a traveling job, right?
Yeah. Especially early on, I'd say.
Yeah. I was in a similar situation because my dad was constantly shifting around, but it was within India. How did you, if you remember those things, how did you handle those transition? Because it happens to a lot of kids.
It was tough. I remember whenever you'd leave, I'd get really depressed. I'd start crying and all that. And it used to be it was just me, my mom, and my brother. And my brother was super young. He's younger than me. So not only would it be we'd feel almost scared because in India, I don't know, somehow all the other houses around us got robbed except for us. I don't know what happened there.
Okay.
So I used to be always I don't know if scared is the right word, but always attentive. And, I think that helped me grow up a lot because it was just, I felt even though I was I was probably 7, 8 years old. Since I was the oldest guy, I felt really responsible, right? Because since my dad was always away. That was tough, definitely. Until I moved here till I was 10, he was pretty much traveling the whole, so that was good. Yeah, that was good. But at the same time, it was good. I mean, he brought us to America and made our lives easier, so it was worth it in the end. But it was tough growing up. So
it's a blessing in disguise, I guess. I know you take a lot of responsibility at an age, and it becomes kind of a habit. But handling it at an young age is too difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, luckily my mom did a good job raising us. So I didn't have to take that much responsibility. I just kind of felt that you're right. I was I need to be the protector, and we'd go outside to lock the gate in the night, right? And the gate was probably 6 foot tall, so literally, realistically anyone could have just jumped over the gate. But that locking the gate thing in the night, it just somehow provided a sense of security for us, and we thought it did made a difference. And so those type of things are just and then we didn't really go out much because it was just me, my mom, and my brother was probably like 4 or 5 years old. So it just for her, it's tough to travel with both of us. So we'd stay at home. So it was like a lot of boredom. So that's where I was just trying to get into the cricket, like having the friends in the neighborhood that really saved me, kept me busy. And I didn't really feel like, bored or depressed or lonely, and
Good.
it made it easier.
How was your, what is your, give me a little bit about your professional career,
Yeah.
How did that happen? How did you end up in Michigan?
So I moved back to America when I was 10, and I've been in America since then. So I grew up in Ohio. I did my undergrad in Ohio State in Ohio. Did engineering, which is typical for an Indian. You either do engineering or you're a doctor, right? So
Yeah.
I didn't want to be a doctor too long, and I don't think I had the passion for it. So I went the engineering route, and honestly, I don't think I had the passion for engineering either. But that was the next path. That was better than being a doctor. So yeah, I did my engineering undergrad. I moved to Pittsburgh for about 6-7 years. In that process, I did my MBA in Carnegie Mellon there. And then that's what led me to Ford. So I was mainly, the first 6-7 years, I was at like purely engineering role, technical type role.
Okay.
And I kind of knew I just don't have I would say I'm not gifted, or I don't have the passion for engineering. I'm more a business, higher level, not so much in the details. So I did my MBA, and that's what led me to Ford. They had a program where it was just like basically engineers and MBAs, and so it was one of those leadership programs. Led me to Ford, and I moved here in 2017, and
Okay.
been here since then. So
As Rohit, as a person, what are his hobbies? What does he do apart from an 8 to 4 job? What are your hobbies?
I mean, our hobbies are sports. Like literally, I just have an unhealthy passion for sports. Like ask my family, ask my wife. That's probably like the good thing and bad thing. Like I'm always like thinking about sports, dreaming about sports. If I have downtime, I'm like thinking about cricketing. Like how do I play leg shot, or what. Like always thinking, and now I start playing tennis. So I'm starting to think about that.
Okay.
The bad thing about it is like it deviates. Like free time, you can probably be productive as an adult. 38, you should be thinking about like what other ways I can invest or something, or something that's actually productive.
Well, I consider that as regular work.
Yeah, but like that's where I'm getting pressure. Oh, now you need to think of investments, real estate, where you can invest. Like my parents are pushing me and stuff like that. So. So that's where it's like, man. So yeah, whenever I have free time, I'm playing either tennis or cricket, and those both things take a long time. And then the free time. Now I have 2 kids, so busy with them the rest of the time. So
okay, good.
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit about your early cricketing memories, right? So talk to me in detail about when you think back, right now. What is your first cricketing experience, and how did you get started?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Bangalore. We had neighborhood. I think my neighbor, the neighbor's neighbor, and then there were 2 houses across the street. They would be playing cricket in the evenings when you come after school, and it's just like we have the downtime, nothing else to do. So I just went to start playing there, and that's where my love for cricket started. Yeah, basically streets, Bangalore. When I was probably started in kindergarten, so UKG, LKG. So I must have been like say 5-6 years old, and we'd play for hours and hours outside, just never get tired playing cricket. And I mean, I used to be pretty good. Like, I mean, I used to be good compared, relative to my friends. And, if I stayed in India, I feel like I would have been pretty good. But so, I played, I did that for literally till I was 3rd standard. So that was like 4 or 5 years. Literally all I did like downtime was play cricket on the streets.
So right away you were a batsman from the get-go, or was it a later
I was a batsman. We bowled, we'd bowl like tossing like that. Yeah. So we didn't really get into hardcore. We'd play with a rubber ball, and had the same thing. I think a couple other people in the podcast mentioned that the balls would hit the windows of the neighbors. I went through all of that. We'd hide when they'd hit the neighbors. Sometimes we would actually go to the terraces of the neighbors and grab the balls. It was like, it was. Those memories are still like pretty solid in my head because I enjoyed them so much. And
I don't, a lot of our team members have said this, but being in a metropolitan city, I don't picture this kind of a scene. You know what I mean? I think I grew up in a rural area per se, right? I know I can imagine open fields, ability to play for longer hours, but it is interesting that, even in metros those days, I think you guys were able to pull off street cricket.
It was Bangalore. It was like a neighborhood. It was like a small gully. I wouldn't say it was a gully, but it was a smaller road. Luckily, not much traffic going through there. So we were lucked out, and luckily our neighbors were nice, where they weren't like super, because we definitely would hit their windows nonstop, hit their cars nonstop, and in terms of that, but. Yeah, it was.
It's the aftermath that is interesting, running away from all
exactly.
Of those days,
so I mean, that's all I remember from my childhood is literally just playing cricket. And there were a couple of times my mom had to go for like groceries and go visit her friends, and I would just say I'm gonna stay here and play cricket, and she was like surprised. I was like 8 years old. I was willing to stay by myself. That's just because that's how much love I had for the sport.
Would you drag your little brother along with you?
Yeah, I don't know. My brother, he didn't have that passion for like cricket. He was more into like other sports, like running sports and cartoons and stuff. And he was like 4 or 5 years old. So there's no way my mom was going to let him stay with me. I was 8 years old. I wasn't that responsible.
Yeah,
playing cricket and taking care of my brother. So yeah, she would take him. But yeah,
good. In India, I think, there's cricket all over. You're surrounded by that passion. But how did you continue on that journey when you transitioned to Michigan per se? Or no, not transition to the US per se, right?
Yeah.
How did you have the spark going on?
Honestly, I didn't. Like when I came to the US, I didn't even get to play cricket. I switched to baseball.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So that was like the most like parallel sport in American like cricket. That's the closest thing you'll find to cricket is baseball.
You just like hitting the ball, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, my parents put me in baseball, and if I remember, first couple of years it was difficult transition because cricket you're used to the ball staying low. Baseball, the ball comes high, and it's not bouncing, so it's single eye level, and it's coming faster. Like so, and you need to actually swing the bat, right? Cricket, you can kind of time it and just touch it and it goes. So I remember the first 2-3 years of baseball, I was like horrible. I just keep missing, get struck out and then it took me at least 3-4 years when I was 10 to like 13 where I was halfway decent at it. So, and then I just continued playing baseball through my childhood and into high school.
Okay.
And then I didn't really get back into cricket until when I was 22, when I got out of college and I moved to Pittsburgh. And
but before you go there, I'm a novice in baseball.
Yeah,
I went to a Tigers game once, I guess, for an office party, but I just didn't comprehend the rules. So
it takes a while to go. And
right.
So.
When you compare the two sport, what is that you see things as the most similar ones, and what are the biggest differences?
Biggest difference is I'll start with that. Like, base or cricket, you have the bat in your hand the whole time, right?
Yeah.
And that was the hardest transition for me when I moved to baseball. As soon as you hit the ball, you're supposed to throw the bat or at least like put it away. And for the longest time, I'd hit the ball and I just like take the bat with me to the first base. And then my coaches would be like yelling at me, hey, throw the bat. And like some of the bad umpires, they would like penalize me for it or something like that. So luckily I was young, so they were pretty easygoing, but they knew I was probably new to the sport. But like that was one transition. And then obviously the other one is there's like 4 different bases to score 1 run, right? Cricket, you're going kind of back and forth. Yeah. So it's just like 1 base basically. So those were the biggest differences. And there's a foul ball in baseball. So once you hit it, if you hit it like behind you, it's like, it doesn't count. Like it's a strike. So
coming into the physical demands across both sports, right? How do you compare? It's an interesting perspective to have for everybody, right?
Yeah, so I'd say baseball, little more physically demanding because cricket, you get out the first ball, you're basically sitting the whole match. Especially me because I don't bowl, right?
Yeah. Curse of a batsman.
But yeah, if you're playing long innings, cricket's harder. So it's like it varies. Baseball, you're constantly in the match. So you're batting pretty much every 1 or 2 innings. You're batting pretty much throughout the whole match. And also baseball, hitting a ball with a, the pros play wooden. We used to play with aluminum bats. Hitting a ball, requires power. You want to hit it far. Cricket, it's more timing. If you're able to time the ball, it'll go far. Like baseball, you got to have some power to hit it deep. Like hitting a home run, it's not like easy, right?
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just go there and like time the ball. And you might get a base hit, but you want to hit a home run, it requires a lot of power. So I'd say cricket or baseball requires more power than cricket. Cricket, as long as you're like fit, like in terms of cardio, you can be a great athlete. I'd say baseball, you need to have the cardio, but you need the muscle. So I'd say, yeah.
Good. That's interesting. Thanks for that perspective. So, what happened next? Transition from straight cricket to baseball.
Yeah.
And then how did you transition back to cricket?
That was, I played baseball pretty much through high school. So the next 10 years of my life, pretty much just focused on baseball. Okay. And I ended up getting halfway decent at baseball too. And then, after I finished college, moved to Pittsburgh, I was like, I didn't have any friends, new city, new surroundings. So I was like, I used to still watch cricket. So I had like passion for cricket. So then I think I saw it on Facebook, like one of those meetups, cricket team. So I went and joined a cricket team, Tamil cricket team.
So it's still in Ohio, you mean?
No, this is in Pittsburgh.
Sorry. Okay, it's in Pittsburgh. Okay.
Yeah, so there was Tamil cricket team. And they introduced me, and I told them I played growing up. So I think they were expecting I was pretty good or something. And I went to my first practice. I couldn't even hold a bat right. Like I was swinging like a baseball bat. I had all my baseball instincts at that time. And they're like, oh man, this guy is completely raw. And I was surprised they didn't throw me off the team. But they kept me on the team, probably just because of my personality, or I don't know why. And first season, I don't think I even played. I'd go watch the games because I had nothing better to do. But they didn't pick me for a single game, I think, the first season because they didn't think I was ready. I think I played towards like the last game of the season.
Okay.
But then the second season, that's when I started playing and got into it. I mean, I had a couple good games, but it was the transition from baseball to cricket was very hard because then I was used to hitting like, if you notice my swinging or you notice how I play, the ball comes high. I have no issues hitting it.
Yeah.
The shots that require proper cricketing strokes, those are the ones I struggle with. Okay. And now I'm getting a little better at it, but it's taken me 10, 15 years to kind of get that. But it's easier to adjust when you're young, but when you're older, like after, your 20s, it's hard to get rid of those instincts or your technique that you grew up with. And so,
understandable.
So I started playing Pittsburgh 22, 23. And ever since then, my love for, I don't know, I just brought up that love for cricket in my head, and I've been playing ever since then. So it's been 15 years.
One of the common questions that I always ask is, we all get inspired from, great athletes of the game, right? To you, if you are to tell, okay, this is who inspired me to, play cricket, who would that be? And what do you remember of the early days when you were watching that person in the game?
Yeah, I mean, the easy answer is obviously Sachin. I think everyone would say him because, whenever he would come up to bat, you always felt a chance India had a chance to win. Yeah. And then whenever he got out, you're like, oh man, there's no one else.
Turn off the TV, go away.
But another cricket, since that's the easy answer, another cricketer I really liked was the South African Lance Klusener.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he was an all-rounder, but I remember he would just rescue the South African team. Like they would need 100 runs in the last 11, 12 overs, and he'd just pull it off. And I just remember when he walked in, I was like, oh, this is must-watch TV. He always used to turn the game. And one of the heartbreaking scenes was 96, I think, the World Cup semifinals. I used to be a crazy cricket fan, so I remember that pretty vividly. I was watching it with my dad, grandfather, in our old house in Jabalpur. And Yeah, I think the game was tied and then he got run out or something. And so the game ended in a tie in the World Cup semifinal, and somehow Australia won like a tiebreaker. And I was like, I remember being so heartbroken about that. And it's not even India. So I was like, man,
isn't it?
yeah, I mean, I think I hated Australia too, but like it involved Lance Klusner. So he was like I wouldn't say favorite player, but I think favorite non-Indian player.
Okay.
And I remember being heartbroken, even though it was not India. I remember being pretty angered about that. So I would say obviously Tendulkar and then Klusner.
Okay. These guys are like well-rounded in how they play cricket, right?
Yeah.
If you are to choose one aspect of Sachin, right, which you're like looking forward to whenever you're watching a game, what would that be very specifically about him?
One aspect would be how he'd walk into the crease. Like you see with all the Australian greats, like they walk in, they're like intimidating. They're already sending the message when they're walking in. And I think I felt that with Sachin. He wasn't so much intimidating, but he wasn't scared at all. Like with the other Indian batsmen walking in, you could tell they were nervous. This guy just coming in calm, relaxing, like he's having he's walking into a park and he's just relaxed. And I'm sure that put struck the opponents like, why is this guy not nervous? Why is he coming so nonchalantly to the crease?
Yeah.
And so that was I would say his body language entering the crease. And I think that in his way I think that was intimidating, even though he wasn't being like the buff and trying to like stare the guy down in the eye, but like his ease and his, he just seemed like he was in his own zone. And I'm sure that bothered the opponents. And so I was like, man, that's cool. And I didn't get that feeling from any of the other Indian players at that time. Now, I think it's changed. Like our team now, they're, the Kohlis of the world. Yeah. They come in, they're super confident. And but back then, that was one thing I admired about him. And I noticed that when I was only 10 and I was able to notice that. And I watch the highlights now, so I've noticed more things. So I think that was one aspect of him.
Good.
That I really saw. Yeah.
Well, I think it's an interesting point that you bring up, right? I think, there are a lot of other aspects of athletes who we follow and worship and, try to mimic them. Confidence is always one of them. How has this sport and the people that you watch and grow help you bring that aspect into your day-to-day life? Do you see it that way?
No, yeah. I think people like Danny and they say like, this can be translated to the real world. And I completely agree with that because, like cricket, first couple of years, I used to be so nervous walking up to the crease. Like before I'd bat, heart rate would be, I don't know, like probably 200 beats per minute, especially if it was a critical situation.
Yeah.
And now I was like, man, I think last 2 or 3 years I've been reflecting. I'm like, that's where I need to improve my mental game. Like being more confident, like how I was mentioning, or substance, walking into the crease like that. And that's kind of translatable to real life because, you can't walk away from situations like whenever you're nervous, whenever the situation's tough, you got to face it head on. And that's kind of like how life is. Like if you walk away from the difficult moments, you're never going to learn. You're never going to grow as a person. And that's, cricket, like you gotta be excited for when those type of moments happen. You gotta want to go there, make a difference to your team. And same thing, real life. It's the exact same thing. You gotta, you step up, and whether it's a bad situation, something happened, you can't just get down. Motivate your family members, if it's a difficult event happening or, so I think it's very translatable.
Yeah.
And, and in the difficult times, easy things to leave the team, not everything's been positive. Like I've been here, 10 years, easy. I could have just left. Right. But, first of all, I'm loyal. I don't like to leave. Like if I leave, I want to leave on a high.